NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Hey, what's up? We're waiting on Rico. Hopefully he's going to make it. We'll see him soon here. Like as I say it, he comes in, pops in on demand. Rico, we're getting him. There he is. There's the man. How's it going, fellas? Everybody, welcome to NHL Nightly. I am your host, Jeremiah Maxwell. With me, as always, Pearlo Wisdom. You won't find a better hockey handicapper. And we got our main man, Rico. Sometimes gives us some great beer league stories, played high level hockey, and is also a pretty damn good gambler. The goal scoring props. I was bummed out, man. I was hoping Boone Jenner would get his 20th, but didn't see any. Did not watch any of that game, by the way. But you guys called that. I think we had you. I think everybody consensus between you, occupancy, you all were on Montreal. Just going through the scores here. I got the scoreboard up to date. You chat, got to let me know if there's anything doesn't look right. Just let us know here. What's going on? Show it, please. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so just I watched pretty much 3 games. Was really into the Stars. And you can see that behind me I have the we got enough daylight. I don't even have lights on in my room. That's how it is now. Daylight savings time, 6 p.m. We got 2 more hours of daylight already in March. Let's go. That's why I tell people it's never that bad. I'm sure you're getting there too, Pearlo, there in Edmonton. Your days are getting a lot longer. And Canada, from what I understand, also does daylight savings time. I believe that is the case, correct? We have actually one state that does not do that here, Arizona. So, for a good while, Arizona is only an hour ahead of us, even though they're in the mountain time. Yeah, so that Stars game's been really good. Dallas has looked really good. There's been some ticky-tack calls. I wish the refs would just get out of the way. The game just started off like it was going to be a really good one, but it's 3-1 Stars right now. The Stars are on the power play. I have been really impressed with Dallas. I mean, we just don't talk about them enough. Darkness, good to see you, my man. Ducks are playing the Blackhawks. That's 3-2 with 4 minutes left in the second. Yeah. Flames beating the Avalanche 2-1. Boy, I tell you what, the Flames are not going to roll over anybody. The Flyers did beat the Sharks 3-2. I don't think they covered the puck line, though. I think that was a goal and a half, right? So yeah. Senators beat the Penguins in overtime. It just can't get worse for the Penguins, can it? Sabres beat the Red Wings 7-3. The Sabres are in Red Wings are in real trouble. Bolton Byram, Pearlo thinks he's regressing. He had 2 goals and was a +4 tonight, so he was pretty good. Rangers Hurricanes was a great game, 1-0. Our friend Off the Wall Hockey did a play-by-play for that one on the stream. And those are the games I watch kind of closely. The Rangers Hurricanes. Gensel did play tonight too. I don't know how much ice time. I didn't look at the end here. I'll check it here. And then we've got Golden Knights coming up with Seattle. Seattle's still kind of in the mix, and Golden Knights haven't been playing well, so this is a pretty big game for both teams. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, let me look at Gensel's ice time before I get you guys' thoughts on the games you were able to watch. 15-12. Obviously, nobody scored for Carolina. And I think their third line got scored on. Martin Cook and whatever, and that was in the first period. And it might have actually been a power play goal, if I'm correct. Maybe not. It was Adam Fox, I know. So anyway, by the way, our fantasy season is over. I finished 5th, not too shabby. I don't know where you guys finished. I wasn't paying attention to where you were, but that season is over. If you didn't know, it's over. So thoughts on the games?
Yeah, I think I was second last, and Steve's outstanding team was last, which I think is Pearlo's team.
That is Pearlo's team, yeah.
But yeah,
in fairness,
the early games. Yeah, I mean, the early games, it's like San Jose is playing at Philly. I thought Philly on the puck line, but I mean, San Jose's putting up a fight there on the road, 39 points on the year, tied with Chicago. It's a race to the bottom with those two teams. It's like Chicago's like, God darn, we got to try tonight. We're at home. And San Jose's like, let's just fight just enough that Philly wins and doesn't cover the puck line. But see, Michael Bunting got his goal tonight as well too for Pittsburgh, and that was such a snoozer game between Ottawa and Pittsburgh. It's like, man, no life in that game, nothing to play for. But yeah, the Bowen Byram thing, man, 3 goals, 3 games, 4 points, 3 games. The guy has a Red Solo Cup goal song as well too, which I find is just incredible. That's awesome. But yeah, he's looked really good there.
Rest in peace, Toby Keith.
Yeah, so and a couple other things too. I had thought of that. Miramanov got his first goal for Calgary as well too. So the rebuild is in full force in Calgary. So the guy that they just brought in that trade, he got his first goal. And I was watching that Florida Dallas game as well too. It's like I had the Dallas Stars to win. We talked about it last night as well too. I just figured this is a Dallas spot at home. I know Carolina is taking on Florida in the next game as well too. I had a feeling that Rangers-Carolina game was going to be tight. I took the draw there. I didn't think Carolina would be shut out. But apart from that, Montreal took it to Columbus. I had Montreal to win that game as well too. So overall, decent night so far. Couple props came in. I would have liked a little bit more scoring. It seemed like there was a lot of low scoring games apart from that Detroit Buffalo game. I did not touch that game because I just can't trust Buffalo, and the Wings are just going sideways right now, man. That's a scary looking situation there. I don't know if it's just Larkin, but JT Compher's the number 1 center in Detroit right now, and he's not doing shit all. So having nobody contributing down the middle and you're relying on your wingers like Lucas Raymond and Patrick Kane and DeBrincat, and it just seems pretty thin after that without Larkin in the lineup. So, and Alex Lyon's playing like a bag of something right now. He's having a real hard time stopping the puck, and that's a big problem for Detroit right now, especially if they're in a playoff spot. That is a scary situation too.
We haven't said this, but Detroit could find themselves out of the playoffs. I mean, they got to keep winning games. Like, the Islanders are coming. There's some teams still in the East trying to make the playoffs. So, I'd be real concerned with. I'd be real concerned if I was a Red Wings fan because you're watching your playoffs slip away. So, not good. Not good.
Yeah.
Pearlo, did you want to talk about any of the early games? Do you have any thoughts or?
I did end up taking the over in that Detroit game, so I got that one. And I did take Ottawa to win, so I got that. But it's been sort of back and forth. As far as Detroit, Larkin, I want to find a way if I can pull up the record with Detroit if they doesn't have Larkin in the lineup, and I think it would be pretty outrageous how many games like that when he's not in the lineup, they're usually not very good. I know earlier on in the year he was out for a couple of games, and I think they went 1-4 or something like that. So, but that's not a sign of that's not a sign of a great team. Like when Boston at Bergeron went out, somebody would step up. Great teams step up when people get hurt. So they haven't reached that point yet. They still got a lot of growing to do there in Detroit for sure.
So the Detroit Red Wings are 2-7 without Dylan Larkin this year, per StatMuse. Mm-hmm. StatMuse is a great website, by the way. So 2-7. So definitely not good. Darkness says he needs a Kraken win for his Sharks. Or I'm sorry. I am so sorry, Darkness, for your St. Louis Blues. I had the Sharks on the mind because I was looking at that score there. We're underway in a second period here. I finally got it to connect. We're underway in the second period in the Colorado Avalanche Flames game. That's in Calgary. I'd love for you guys to keep an eye on that game for me. I still have the Dallas Stars, obviously, and Florida Panthers. Again, this could be the Stanley Cup final. Dallas looks so good. They've just negated Florida's forecheck in this game. Been really impressed with their game. It's going to be tough. And then, that was Winnipeg too. They just looked so good again. I know that Washington made some trades and they brought up a lot of AHLers and they're probably not making the playoffs, but Caps have played a pretty good last 10 games but they didn't even look like they were in Winnipeg's class, to be honest with you. So I was pretty impressed with their game, to be quite frank. It feels like Winnipeg has found their way back to how they were playing earlier in the year. That's really important. Super breaking news that happened today that we didn't lead the show with because I didn't know where you guys were on with this, but Matt Rempe does get 4-game suspension. I was really surprised for a guy who's played like 6 games in the NHL. They just threw the book at him, but I guess they thought the hit was pretty egregious. And I don't know. I don't know where you guys are. I thought 4. I don't think he would get 4. I thought maybe 2 would be. I was surprised. Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, I thought 2 or 3 too, but I think that was just a cool it off moment for him. It just seems like there was just more and more that was following this guy around, like whether it be Olivier or anybody else or McDermott following him around on the ice and trying to fight, or other guys in the league just trying to size him up. The kid is young. I think you just protect him for his own sake and maybe just tell him go take a seat for 4 games and just kind of cool off for a bit. I think that's what the message they're kind of trying to send him, because he is getting a little bit dangerous out there. So, that could have been a lot worse. That's an elbow to the head. 4 games is steep for a guy with a first, but he's been involved physically on the right and wrong end of some things in the NHL so far. His name's out there. So I think it's just Department of Player Safety telling them to just go cool off for 4 games and just kind of rethink what you're doing out there, because you're going to get yourself hurt and maybe somebody else hurt.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pearlo, did you have any thoughts on the Rempe suspension? You don't have to.
Yeah, real quick, I think a lot of it has to do with he was playing pretty erratic. Like he's I think it was just kind of a way to tell this kid, you got to tone it down a tad. You know what I mean? Like he almost knew that he was going to do something. He almost knew it the way he was playing, and you got to think with your head. I know you're full of energy, and you want to stay in the lineup, but this isn't going to keep you in the lineup. So I think I think that might have something to do with why he got 4. Could have been. I think actually he might have got 4 because didn't he do like some antics afterwards too, and he acted like he was
he waved at the bench on the way out. Somebody said he was waving at Margot Robbie that was at the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that was Nick Alberga saying that.
More to do with that.
Oh, was it Nick Alberga that said that? Okay, Nick Alberga said that on Twitter. I thought, he's great, by the way. Shout out Nick Alberga. Who works for Daily Faceoff, in fact. So, our friends at Daily Faceoff. I was laughing because like all the fans that are anti-Rangers fans were coming after the Rangers for complaining about Tom Wilson a couple of years ago when Panarin jumped on Tom Wilson's back unprovoked and Tom Wilson like ragdolls his ass. Anyway, I just thought it was hilarious that all the fans were like, look at the Rangers trying to mansplain Rempe's bad hit. Look, it was a bad hit. Here's the thing. I said this too. It's like, dude, you're 6'7", 6'8", whatever. You're going to have to start squatting down. Like the Bastion hit, he didn't get called for a penalty for that. A lot of people thought he could have got suspended on that one. I thought that was a tough one. The Lyubushkin one, I didn't have a problem with that hit. I don't know, Rico. I don't know. I'm sure everybody in Toronto was losing their minds on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was Labushin's first game, right? So you're just trying to not see anything happen to him, because if my first thought is, okay, here we go, the guy you just picked up is going to get hurt. Now it's defense is a problem in Toronto, and now it would be just our luck, like just another injury right before playoffs to a guy you just picked up. That's my first thought of it. It's just like, I just don't want anybody getting hurt going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think we have to spend any more time talking about the Empire State Building. Ryan Whitney did come on today and say that he thought he would get a suspension. I do think that those guys weren't saying 4 games, but I know Gallagher got 5. I just feel like I think you're probably going to, if you elbow somebody in the head and they think it's intentional, you're probably getting 4 or 5 games, depending on your history. And it could be more. I think they're really cracking down on those head hits. So if you're a tall guy, you gotta be watching it, I think. So, so there was one other piece of news I wanted to talk. Well, 2 other things. One, Mike Modano on the 14th of March, they're unveiling a statue for him there at the arena in Dallas. Thought that was really cool and classy. I mean, Modano played all but like 1 season with the Dallas North Stars franchise, really. He signed with the Red Wings, which I'm sure he regretted. Yeah, for like 1. Yeah, and then Mike Babcock sat him out for his 1400th game. Also, by the way, O'Shea Jackson Jr., which if you don't know, he's Ice Cube's son, was saying something about Babcock on Twitter, which I was like, I didn't know he was a huge hockey fan, but he had something to say. I mean, it makes sense. The Kings are always pretty good. So, anyway, so we don't have a ton of games. Oh, did they? Okay. I was going to be surprised if Colorado ended up losing that game to the and Blackhawks are up 4-2 against the your 4th goal is the 20th of the season for Connor Bedard. Oh, we were just talking about it before the show. Pearlo and I were talking about, we think he's going to be good. So he has a 3-point night tonight. Has 2 assists and a goal. Yeah. Yep. He assisted on Kurashev's goal and Seth Jones' 4th goal this season. So I wonder if Chicago looked to move Seth Jones here in the offseason. And then Pearlo, you side tweeted at you the odds for Crosby plus 700, and you're like, man, I wonder if somebody would have given you better odds if you'd asked at the beginning of the year, but you'd had to probably ask, right? Like,
yeah, I didn't know that you could actually get that, or I probably could have got like 1,500 or something. Who knows? Like, if I would have known that you could have bet that
before the season started.
Yeah, but this is, and it's just that he doesn't finish his career there. It's plus 700. That's I'll put some. I'm going to put some on that. I'm going to put some on that for sure.
Well, he's got 1 more year left on his deal after this year, right? I believe. And I know Nick Kiprio said the other day he expects him to sign a 3-year extension with Pittsburgh after this summer. I'm not touching that one. I do not think he is going to sign it. I think I'm starting to lean where you are there, Pearlo.
3-2 Avalanche.
3-2 Avalanche. Oh, I got over in that game. I got the over in that game. I got money line and I got puck line. So looking good.
Hey, this is something we haven't talked about a lot. Nathan McKinnon has gotten a point in every home game for Colorado, and he could tie Wayne Gretzky's 41 game record. He's only got like 8 or 9 home games left this year. And I think they don't have a real tough schedule at the end there. Would it be incredible to see him like tie a Wayne Gretzky record, and then I think would all but submit his legacy as a Hart Trophy final winner this year. And just like that, the guy has just been one of the best players in the league forever, and the fact that he doesn't have an Art, I don't think he has an Art Ross either, does he? So it'd be cool if he won the Art Ross and the Hart Trophy this year. I'd like to see that.
So what do you say to all those people all over Twitter whenever these stats come up like this home point streak for McKinnon and then the chase for 70 for Matthews? What do you say to all those people on Twitter that are like, well, it's 3-on-3 overtime. How many of those points came in the 3-on-3 overtime that Gretzky didn't have back in his day?
I mean, Gretzky had goalies who didn't know how to do the butterfly either. So I just feel like I think there's comparables. Like, obviously, the 3-on-3 guys get stats. Matthews and the Leafs have had a lot of overtime games this year. I totally understand that. But, like the defensive structure is so much better now. And the game is just, I don't know, it's just different. I think it's not great to compare eras. I like if that Paul Paduti guy is a great follow because he does that. Like, it's like they use math or whatever to compare like the eras and how it is. I just think you look at it now. I mean, it's still like if Matthews gets to 70, I mean, look, he's slowed. I'll be surprised if he gets to 65 at this point. But like I said, it's not easy. The greatest goal scorer of our generation, Alex Ovechkin, never got 70. And but again, I'll say like it's hard, man. Like their goalies are so much better. They're so much more athletic. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, Rico, you posed the question to me. What are your thoughts? I mean, I think like
you said, the goalie equipment was a lot smaller. Look at when Gretzky started playing. Look at the early to mid 80s when he stacked up all those points into like 86, 87, 88 till he left Edmonton. I mean, those goalies when he first started had half the equipment. It seemed like that these guys had, they just felt like the dead puck era during the early 2000s as well too, when New Jersey and stuff were good. But I know the 3-on-3 does make a difference. But however, there was overtime back then, was it or not? It just wasn't 3-on-3, but it was 5-on-5, so there was still overtime. So I mean, there's an argument to be had there about eras. I mean, the games are still capped at 5.5 and 6.5, which they have been for as long as I've known the game. So they're obviously adjusting for that as well too. It's not like the over-unders are 7.5 and 8.5 right now. They're still kind of where they are. It's just like you said, the training and everything that these players are doing now. I mean, nobody was working out like these guys and having such a strict regimen off the ice as these star players are right now too. So they're going to get them one way or another.
Yeah, I would just say if you could take Connor McDavid and pluck him out of this era and pop him into Gretzky's era, I think you do pretty good. So now, that being said, he wouldn't have the modern equipment and stuff. He'd have to skate on the old skates. I think it's often not said, like technology, obviously the sticks now, but I will say too, like, since Bobby Hull used the curved stick, I don't know that the wood sticks are that much worse off than these composites. Because I'll tell you, too, I don't know Pearlo. I don't remember sticks breaking a lot in the 80s. You sure see it a lot more now with these composites. That's kind of your era of your childhood, right, Pearlo? You watched a lot of 80s when you were a kid. Do you remember a lot of wood sticks getting snapped?
No, you had to really do something to snap a stick back then.
Right.
You had to really come down on her. They're making these new ones better now. It's not like it was a couple of years ago. It seemed like there was somebody would break a stick 2-3 times a game, trying to do a slap shot. So they're making them better now. But as far as the argument is concerned, I mean, I could say it's fun to kind of talk about, but I would rather just celebrate and appreciate what McKinnon has done. Like, it's just fantastic. So was Gretzky. It was fantastic as well. So people saying, wow, the 3-3, whatever. How can you just say McKinnon is doing amazing stuff and Gretzky did amazing stuff?
Hey, Florida just tied it, by the way, 3-3. Everybody in Dallas.
Oh my God. I haven't been watching that.
Chucky just tied. Well, yeah, they got a goal. And they just tied it 3-3, man. So
perfect. I got a piece on the draw here. That's perfect.
I've got Florida. I took Florida.
Well, I like that. I like that pick.
Yeah, it was hard to go against them look at their road record. It's ridiculous. It was a tough spot because they had to fly all the way here and then they're going to Carolina afterwards. But if no coach is better in tough spots than Paul Maurice, so I thought it was dead. I wasn't even watching. I thought it was over. So good to see.
No, they had the whole third period here. Yeah, I give Florida a lot of credit. They did not look good early in this, and if they weasel a point out of this, again, this could be the Cup final. I would not be sad. I know the NHL, but Dallas is a big market, and look, I know Florida plays in what they call Sunrise, but it's not far from Miami. They're in Miami. Miami's massive. If people went up there, and the arena's great, it's a little bit away from stuff, but there's like a mall, there's movies, there's places to eat. Like we went into a restaurant and had a nice meal, and there was a ton of Buffalo fans and a ton of 3 times as many Panthers fans. I like the venue. The arena's really nice, and it was good, man. It was good, Rico actually the layout was very easy to get through and stuff, kind of like the Leafs. I felt like there was a lot of room in the concourse, and they did something really cool at the end of the game. You go up and have a few more drinks and listen to some music and stuff, especially if you're waiting for a ride share. So that was really kind of cool too, man. And we went it was a weekday, and there were people just slinging them back. It was great.
What's the shoreline look like there? Because I don't think it's really on the beach, but it is on the ocean, though, right? The arena.
So Fort Lauderdale's shoreline is awesome. The arena is not right by the arena's inland a little bit in Sunrise. It's not inland a lot. It's inland like a 40-minute car ride. But yeah, because we stayed by the beach, so it was about 40 minutes from downtown Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, if it was in a different position, I don't know, man. Traffic there is not great anyway, because I think Florida has just grown a lot. So I don't know if you could put it in a better place, maybe in between Fort Lauderdale and such. It would be kind of cool if it was near the beach. But I don't know. They'd have to do a study. But anyway, yeah, their fan base is pretty good, man. And obviously they were in the Cup final last year, so it was good to see the fans out there. So yeah, just recapping the scores for everybody, updated everything. Wild are still up 2-1 on the Yotes. That game is, again, the Wild got to get points everywhere they can. So I expected them to win that game at home. Kaprizov is going to have a 90-point season again. He's got his 32nd goal. And I think he assisted on the Ryan Hartman goal. So he has 40 assists and 32 goals on the year. Pretty good. Of course, we talked about Bedard getting his 20th. That's awesome, man. That kid missed how many games because of the broken jaw? So
wait a sec. Florida just scored.
To go up 4. Oh, they're on the power play. So you're saying they scored on the power play here? To go up 4-3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. Matthew Tkachuk. Oh, my God. Dallas is reeling, man. They were in control of this game, man. Totally. Oh, my goodness.
It was Barkov. It went off of the Dallas defense.
Barkov. They're giving it to Barkov. It looked like Tkachuk might have deflected it, too. I'm looking at
Lindell hit it.
Oh, yeah. Went Lindell off the stick there. Yep.
Oh, that sucks for Lindell.
Wow, Dallas is so good.
Yeah. Every time you get those own goals, I don't care who it is, my team, somebody else's team, I feel sick for the guy because
he threw it at the net. The defenseman was in kind of a bad position too. He should have been on the other side of Tkachuk's stick there, keeping him out. keeping his stick from it because I don't. If that gets through the defenseman there, Pearlo Kachuk just taps it in for an empty netter, basically.
That's 3 power play goals for Florida tonight as well.
Wow.
Yeesh. Blackhawks scored another goal, their 5th. McKenzie and
I wish I would have went with my gut on that one and took the Hawks, but I didn't touch it.
Yeah. What is Anaheim, too? Like, they really didn't get rid of that much. I guess Henrique and Carrick. But, like, they didn't get rid of anything else. So.
Well, they have no who's injured, too. Like, they have no centerman at all. Like, Lundstrom is their second-line center right now. And, yeah, so Strome. Oh, no. McKinnon, what's his name, did come back. Sorry, I forgot about that. He was injured, but he came back. Why do I always forget his name? McTavish did come back. So, but Enrique was a big lift for that team. Like, I've heard so many great things about how he lifts up a team. He's just he's one of those personalities that just brings everybody together and very positive. So it's probably hard for them to see him go.
This is good night Calgary here. 31-14 shots, 4-2. Nikushin just scored.
Okay.
Is it 5-2 now?
4-2. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's been 4-2.
Oh, yeah. Nikushin scored a little while back. Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, they're getting him back, too.
Dallas just had a close one there.
By the way, that was Nichushkin's 24th goal, and he has missed time on the he missed time in the players' assistance program. So that guy was having a career year.
I know, like, is he just a big time piss tank, or like what's going on with him? Like, it wasn't mental issues or anything. I think it was booze, was it not?
I don't know. They're not allowed to say. They're not allowed to say.
They don't say.
Yeah,
they don't say. But I'll tell you what.
Just because
since he's come back, since he's come back, he's looked like a freaking beast, man. Like I was thinking,
he was looking like a beast at the beginning of the year too. So.
But more, like even more now. I don't know. Like there's a energy about him, and he's like a freaking tank.
He's a fucking animal. Like, so what happens when he comes back in the dressing room? Like, does Nate McKinnon go over to him and like shake his hand, be like, "Welcome back, Mr. Nichushkin. Can you please just try to stay with us a little bit, man? You're such a good player." Nikushin's like, "No problem. I do my best."
Yeah. I wonder, like, now you got to start thinking Colorado for the, making it out of the West. The way they're playing right now, like, they look just unstoppable, almost like Florida.
Dude, the series are going to be so good in the West that you can replay those series over and over and over and over again and get a different result, it seems like, in the West. You just throw those in a fucking meat grinder and see which comes out.
Rematch of the 96 Cup Finals, Florida and Colorado. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and then Florida beats them 4 straight and returns a favor.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we don't have a 4 straight final, but it's always best to get to Game 7, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think we will I don't know. I mean, the thing is, coming out of the West, it's going to be tough coming out of the West with all those teams. Like, they're probably going to beat each other up pretty good. So many great teams in the West there. That's the only thing I would say is.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Going back to the East, that game with the Rangers beating Carolina was a huge win for the division, man. Like, just Carolina was sniffing at the Rangers to get into, close to that Metro lead, and the Rangers going in there and winning 1-0. That was a huge, huge win. Remember this one at the end of the year. There's a game or two left. Yeah, remember that one when there's a couple games left in the year and they're ahead by Carolina by maybe 1 point or 2 points for the division or vice versa, but.
Dallas has got the empty net with 2:25 left to go. Andrew saying no party for Dallas tonight. Yeah, Panthers, good comeback. We'll see. See a lot of empty net goals.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet, man.
Yeah.
Dallas team's got too many guns
Kaprizov got an empty net boost. So that's 4-1 now.
So did Foligno, Foligno and Kaprizov, 2 empty netters.
Okay, that was the other one.
I had Minnesota team total over, but I also had the over on that. But
so Minnesota's going to go on a bit of a run here. I think they're going to.
Well, there's another team. If Detroit falls off, that could probably make the playoffs if they keep winning. Like I know their percentage is low, but like.
Oh, it looks like the empty netter. Oh, he didn't even try for the empty netter. He just put it in the corner. That was weird. Or maybe he hit a skate. It looked like he just shot it in the corner instead of going for the empty netter. He might have hit the skate, though. I can't see why he wouldn't have went for the empty netter there.
And 6-2 Hawks,
Oh, Twitter is ablaze with some controversy tonight. Ray Ferraro getting into it with a fan saying he advocated for them to injure Panarin, and he was like, I did not say that. And oh gosh, dang, man. Mike Rupp telling a guy that he's a moron for saying what he said about fighting. Anyway, I agreed with Rupp. I didn't hear what Ray Ferraro said because I'm assuming Ray was on the Sportsnet broadcast or something. Because that Rangers game, I just listened to the Carolina broadcast. It wasn't a nationally televised game. So I assume it was Carolina, New York.
Maybe. Well, I like Mike Rupp.
Hey, by the way, Rupp's great. By the way, 399 career assists for Jordan Eberle. Does he get one tonight? And can you get a prop on it? See what you got.
Oh, shit.
No score of that game.
I known that before the game started, but I'm on the draw on that game. I didn't expect much scoring.
Yeah, it's still 0-0.
I don't got anything on that game. I don't have anything on that game.
Vegas until they get – I mean, I want to see what they look like with Hurdle in the lineup, but they got to figure it out, man. I mean, I don't understand how those two so I got 39 seconds left in a timeout for Dallas, and that game is almost final. I've watched almost that in the entirety.
Whatever they were saying about Ferraro, like, I don't even need to know what he said. The guy's one of the nicest people on the planet. There's no way he's going to say he wants Panarin to get hurt. Not a freaking chance. He's awesome dude.
He works his ass off. I know that much. Like, that guy is calling some games. Like, he works for ESPN. He does calls for them. I know he's doing Sportsnet games now. I saw him doing Sportsnet. I thought he worked for TSN. He does a podcast with Dreger. So I don't know. I mean, how many guys work cross networks like that? It's pretty insane.
Mike Johnson. I know Mike Johnson works for NHL Network and TSN.
Yeah.
He's
I love Mike Johnson.
I like Mike Johnson.
I love Mike.
Yeah, Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Yeah, Mike Johnson. Johnny, as they say. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I remember him when he played.
He's
for
a
Arizona.
big guy too. I never realized how big Mike Johnson was, but he's a fucking giant.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like.
You know who wasn't that big? I thought he'd be bigger. Kipper, not big. Not that big.
No.
Yeah, he's
not big. Not bigger than me.
Yeah.
He's not bigger than me. And I definitely outweighed him, but I outweigh a lot of people right now.
Mm-hmm.
You think about
Rico,
some of the
Rico,
people that he fought.
Rico, you're tall. I think you're taller than me, right? I'm barely 6 foot. You were like 6'1", right?
No, I think we're the same height. I'm like,
okay,
I'm trying to straight 6 foot.
Tall. Hot take hockey is
Hot take hockey is tall. Oh yeah, he's just a tall kid.
He's 6'3" minimum. Okay, Florida.
He wears his hat high on his head too to make him look even taller.
Dude, Florida is winning the cup this year. I don't know what my they just look nasty, and
I'm trying to get bought out right now on my betting site.
What?
I said, sorry, buddy. I'm trying to get paid. Like, they're trying to pay me out on my future for my Florida Panthers Cup winning bet. They're trying to give me more money than I bet. I'm like, fuck that, because they're at half the odds right now. I got them at 13-1. Now they're at plus 700.
Oh, of course they want you to cash out. Do not cash that out. How much did you put on?
Like $5.
Oh, dude. Yeah. You just let it ride.
Not much.
Yeah. Like, if you had 1,000 and you needed the money or something, I did it. But like,
yeah,
no. Okay, so let's preview the games for tomorrow, and then we'll see tomorrow. Only one late game tomorrow, or two late games tomorrow. One in Pearlo's neck of the woods. This is one that I might drive down for one of these days and just go to the game. Capitals Oilers, but let's.
Casey Middlestat goal.
Nice.
Middlestat for Colorado on the board. That's his first in Colorado, isn't it?
He's only played one game with him, I think. So
he's no Bowen Byram, but
but Byram's played 3 games with them now. So like that's where his 15th of the year.
Beard's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Beard's frozen in time.
Here, let me figure
there
this.
You go. You're back.
Everybody left. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this.
He looked like Han Solo in Empire Strike Back when he's frozen in that thing.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I forgot to share out the freaking stream today. What the heck am I doing?
Oh, God. What are we watching at late games, Pearlo? Jesus, I wish they would have gave us a nice late game to watch. Snoozer, Vegas, Seattle game. Like on Colorado.
Well, just because neither of those teams can score this year. That's where that's at.
I should have been on the under, and now that I think about it, that's all right. Can't win them all.
What a game. Sorry you didn't hit the draw on that one, Rico, but I cannot believe Dallas choked that game away. Blackhawks have scored a 6th goal. Connor Bedard again? No, Philip Kurashev. I think that Kurashev kid's going to be a pretty good player.
He always scores when I don't take his prop.
And I have to update the score for Colorado anyway. So let's get to that.
Isn't he like 27? Isn't he like 27 now?
No, Kurashev?
I could be wrong.
No, I believe he is. I believe he is
24.
very young. He's I was like,
he's only 24. He's only 24.
Yeah. He's a part of their rebuild there. So I knew. Yeah, he's part of that rebuild. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and preview tomorrow's games and call it a night. All right, we got another 2 shows this week. So tomorrow we have a 4-game slate. It's the TNT broadcast. LA, St. Louis. Blues are the home dog, rightfully so. Probably the Kings have been playing some pretty good hockey. The over-under on that game. Yeah, hold on. Let me give you the over-under. Is 6. What do you got, Pearlo?
Oh, you went to me. Shoot.
Go ahead, Rico.
I think I'll.
No, I like LA. No, I like LA there. St. Louis is coming off a hell of a long road trip. I know this is the first game of a road trip, which isn't always the best either, but I'm taking LA just because of this spot on a TNT game. I think they're going to be ready. They'll be in St. Louis. Yeah, the Blues have been on that crazy East Coast trip, and this is their first game back. So if other than that, I'd probably have a hard time picking this game, but just on spot only, I'm going to take the Kings. They'll come out probably a little bit hungrier, and think they'll just have their legs. I think where St. Louis will their heads won't be in it. So maybe LA first period puck line and maybe a lean on the full game LA.
Pearlo, go ahead.
I totally agree with him. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's just a huge LA spot. Yeah, for sure.
Does Buchnevich get to 25 goals in that game? A little goal scoring prop. I don't know who's goalie. Who the goalie is. All right, Preds at Jets. Both teams been really playing well last few games. I know the Preds lost that one to Minnesota. So they're coming off an L, and the Jets are coming off a pretty good win against the Capitals at home. Obviously, Jets are at home. Preds are a plus 130 road dog, and the over-under is 5.5 in that one. Kind of a low over-under in that one. What do you like there? Go ahead, Pearlo.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. If I remember correctly, they play over quite a bit, Winnipeg and Nashville. So if you're getting a 5.5, I think I would take that. But I don't think Nashville's getting enough respect here. This should be closer to a pick'em. But so I think Winnipeg might pull it out, but the value's on Nashville in there. So, but I would take a little chunk on the over 5.5.
Yeah, plus 130 on Nashville. I like it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll bet it, but yeah, it's better value.
Yeah, I mean, interdivision game, Nashville hasn't lost in their last 10. The Jets got called out and had a pretty good effort in their last game as well. But this is four games in 6 nights for the Jets. But I think a divisional opponent, I think the Jets are going to be up for this game as well, too, just because that might be a first-round preview in the Western Conference interdivision game. I don't think the Winnipeg Jets want to give Nashville any kind of momentum in this game, knowing that they may see each other in the playoffs. I think it's a statement game for the Jets. They keep rolling here after a big win. I think Bonus called the boys out. They had a good game last game. So I know it's going to be a back and forth game. So if it's a 5.5, I might take a little sprinkle on the over because both teams are going to be coming out really hard here. But I think the Jets win this one just as a statement game, maybe first round preview. They don't want to give Nashville any momentum saying, oh, you know what, if we go into the first round and we beat these guys in Winnipeg type thing. Winnipeg's going to basically shut that off right away.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Could be the case there. Just a real quick look at the standings. I was trying to look at the standings here. I mean, I think Nashville's all but solidified the points. If they Vegas is behind them by 3, so I mean Vegas could be the final wild card team, which is kind of crazy. They could pass LA. We'll see what happens, but I mean Vegas needs to win this game against the Kraken. The Kraken are still kind of in the mix at 67 points, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting, man. I think something crazy is going to happen at the end. Andrew likes the Jets in the chat. So, okay. So the other one is the Capitals at Edmonton. The Capitals are a plus 225 road dog. The over-under is 6.5. I don't think the Caps are that bad defensively. I mean, they did trade Edmondson, but even though they just got absolutely dominated by the Jets, that was still only 3-0. So, you know, for me, I take a flyer on the Caps. That's such a big. They usually play the Oilers tough, but Edmonton's a really good team this year. So it could be their 40th win. So you got Pearlo. You're the Edmonton guy.
This is actually historically the Edmonton Oilers are not good coming off of Eastern road trips, and they just came off of a pretty big Eastern road trip. So I don't think this is a slam dunk that the Oilers win this game. Thing is, Washington has Seattle right after this as well. So,
I mean, they're coming from Winnipeg too, and not Washington. So that's interesting too. Just to say, you know, like they were. It's a much shorter flight from Winnipeg to Edmonton than from the DC area.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Washington to take. I don't think I can take them. Tough. It's a tough one. I think what's going to happen here is there's going to be goals. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think Washington's going to come out hard, knowing that the Oilers are coming off that trip, and then as soon as if they score the first goal, then the Oilers are chasing, and then the pace picks up, and I think you could see goals here. I'd probably go on the over, but you know, I agree with you. This isn't a slam dunk spot for the Oilers for sure. No doubt about that.
Every time you see those ridiculous lines like plus 225, I'm always like, there's professionals on both sides. And I get it. Edmonton has McDavid and all that, but I don't know if Nick Dowd was on the trip. I mean, he could be back in the lineup. They still are missing Faravari. No, Dowd is still out. So, and Tom Wilson day today, and I will tell you, didn't notice him at all in the Jets game. So I don't know if he got banged up in there, but So if he's out, it might be tough. Go ahead, Rico.
Yeah, this is a tough game. Like Pearlo said, Edmonton coming back from out east. I mean, Washington did put up a bit of a fight in a 3-0 game against the Jets in the last game. Unlike Pearlo, I think this game might just be a defensive kind of game. Oilers may not have their legs. They got Colorado at home the next game on Hockey Night in Canada. Maybe preparing for that and looking past Washington a little bit here. Washington needing the points. They are going to come out. So, I mean, maybe a small play on the draw, maybe a little flicker on Washington. But, I mean, Edmonton just lost to Buffalo and Columbus, and they didn't beat Pittsburgh that convincingly, even though it was 4-0. Pittsburgh didn't even show up that game. So, I think maybe the Oilers are just trying to get their lines and new players, everybody accustomed to that system still. So, it might be a sneaky little Washington pick here, knowing that they should get the win in Edmonton. They don't want to leave anything on the table because Seattle's even a tough place to play right now because they're fighting for their playoff lives as well. So it'll be a pretty good game. I think a good effort for Washington there.
I think I would take the under, honestly, in that one. Under 6.5. We'll see. You get plus 100 on both the over and the under, so that might be the better play. But Edmonton doesn't have a problem scoring goals either. So, and then the final game tomorrow, the Capitals Edmonton is TNT, by the way. I think if TNT had to do over, they'd probably want the final game, Avalanche at Canucks. I love that game. Gonna watch that game in its entirety. No favorite in that game. The over-under in that is 6.5. Go ahead, Rico. You take the last game. And
yeah, I like Vancouver there. They haven't played since Saturday. They got a few days to sit at home and prepare for the Avalanche when Colorado's lighting the lamp here in Calgary. So I like the Canucks there at home just for the reasons of just the spot for both teams. I think Vancouver being at home, again, statement game. I think they'll come out pretty hard against Colorado, and I think Colorado's blowing their wad a little bit here against Calgary. So I'll take the Canucks in that game.
What do you think, Pearlo?
My favorite play probably is going to be both teams to score first period there. And right now, I'm not taking any unders with Colorado. I don't care if it's a back-to-back. Their legs aren't going to be that tired. I'll take the over in first period, both teams to score. As far as the side, I understand it is a Vancouver spot, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get in front of Colorado right now. Like, they just look absolutely like they're taking on the world, man.
Rantanen has 2 tonight. They're not even done with the third period. They're just going to put Calgary out of their misery. Calgary was leading this game 2-1, boys, and it's 6-2. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. But if I had to take a side, I probably would take Vancouver, like Rico said, because it is a Vancouver spot. So.
Okay, boys. Well, that's the show for tonight. Any final thoughts before we're back tomorrow and talking these games?
Mr. Pearlo?
Go ahead, Rico.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you always go.
Okay. I mean, I just heard a report that the Devils were planning to target Markstrom, maybe UC Saros, maybe in the offseason. So I know there's a goalie carousel going on in New Jersey right now, but I don't think they go into next season with Kakinen and Jake Allen, to be honest with you. I think New Jersey gets a number one goalie there. I think they'll probably go after, like I said, probably UC Saros, Jacob Markstrom when the time's right in the offseason to get it done properly, because it was a lost season anyway for them to try to do something stupid at the trade deadline. It looked a little confusing, but I think they know what they're doing there. And I think the goaltending in the offseason, New Jersey is going to come out a different team next year. So that's my kind of thought on that.
So, yeah. Pearlo, what do you got?
I'll continue with that because that's going to be one of the more interesting stories in the offseason for sure. But I'll throw another one out there. Especially since they have Zaka, who played for New Jersey, Allmark. I see Boston probably trading Allmark in the offseason, and I could see New Jersey lining up for him. Like I said, they already have Zaka there, so those players that used to play with each other, they talk to each other all the time, right? So I could see something like that happening where New Jersey sends a package over to Boston. Boston needs prospects and stuff. There's like the cupboard is empty there, so that would be where I would see him possibly going, as long as Allmark accepts the trade. But
yeah, I
I
mean
do believe he's got no trade clause.
Yeah, I mean Boston's going to lose most likely DeBrusque. I agree with both of you. I think 1,000,000% they trade Allmark in the offseason. I think we're going to see some goal. I mean, right now, Kaapo Kakkonen was the best goalie available as a UFA. I don't think Saros will get moved just based on what Trotz has said for the but at some point they got to make a decision because they got Yaroslav Askarov, and everything I've heard they think he's probably ready to play, or I mean, at the very least, get him in there with. I mean, Nashville's always kind of had a two-headed monster, right? When they had Pekka Rinne, they had Saros too, so they've always had two goalies that could really play well. So I could see him carrying Yaskarov and Saros, but there could be a potential. I think Markstrom does get moved. I do think that it would be beneficial for Calgary. They also have Dustin Wolf. They've got goaltending prospects there, so it's going to be super interesting to see what happens. Yeah, so I can't wait. Thursday, there's some pretty good slates, too. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Rangers, Lightning, Leafs, Flyers. Those are big games. Devils, Stars. I mean, Devils are probably done. Seattle Kraken versus the Capitals. You know, that's a big game for both those teams. I'm going to guess the Capitals probably coming off 2 straight losses if they lose to Edmonton. So pretty big game, and then we'll see what happens in this. So going to be real interesting to see what happens. Look forward to it. Appreciate everybody. We're getting a lot of views and a lot of clicks. We're starting to grow. We're over 500 subscribers. Our goal is we've changed our goal. We're trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. It'd be pretty awesome. Maybe get some merch. Rico's parents cranking it out for us. It'd be pretty sweet. Just enjoy the rest of the games, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're out.